Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers wherever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Hello there, welcome on board. Yes, it's a wonderful new week for us to actually hope again, a new week for us to believe that our lives will fall in pleasant places for us, a new week for us to actually believe that the nation will be better, and of course a new week for us to hope that things will get better in the country, you know, aside from the politics that is actually disturbing everyone in the nation as we speak. And please, I want you to keep pushing ahead and keep forging ahead, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Welcome on board. It is People's Voice on VOB TV, where season stories shape the narrative. And of course, today we'll be dissecting a major story that is dominating the headline and sparking conversation across the nation. Nasir El-Rufai charged with phone tapping. It's quite a very controversial one here in the nation, in Nigeria to be precise. And of course, if you've been following the dailies, you would agree with me that this has been, you know, a very eventful weekend up until today. Presently is with the EFCC as we speak. Join the conversation with experts and scientists and perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. Police boost security in Mile 12 after robbery reports. The Nigerian State Police Command is increasing security measures along the Mile 12 K2 axis following the reports of robbery attack on mortuaries. An ex-user alerted authorities about armed youths attacking vehicles in the area, despite the presence of two police stations. Police Commissioner Olondare Jimo has directed the arena commander, a DPO and tactical team to enhance security and prevent a further incident from actually occurring, which I would also need to add this here, that the same situation is happening somewhere around Egbeda, because there were robbery attacks in Egbeda, to be precise, over, you know, the weekend as well. So I'd also want the Nigerian police force to look into this particular one. We don't want to see more of all of this situation, you know, in the coming days, and we don't also know what is really fueling all of this particular one now. It's been long we heard, you know, robbery attacks, but for this to be coming out now in Lagos, it's a thing that the Nigerian police force should look into as soon as possible. And away from that particular one, lawmaker condemns a bandit attack on Kwara communities, pledges support. Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar has condemned the recent bandit attack on Rifun, Kafu, and Bugu local government communities in Kwara State, to be precise, are describing the incident as barbaric and unfortunate. The attacks, which occurred on Sunday, left 4 residents adopted and many more traumatized. Umar has urged security agencies to intensify operations in the affected areas and bring the perpetrators to justice. He also commended local vigilantes and community members for their bravery and cooperation with security operating. The senator reassured residents of his commitment to their welfare and restoration of peace, urging them to remain calm and vigilant. And, you know, looking at this Kwara State conversation, Kwara have been going through so much, you know, of late, but I'm just surprised that we're yet to see another high-level delegate from the presidency, you know, go to Kwara. But of course, we're told that the vice president will be moving to Kano today to see the, you know, areas where the fire incident actually happened. we're not saying anything. All we're just saying is that if different areas are affected by either insecurity, situation, or fire or whatsoever natural disaster that might have occurred, we're just saying that the government, should also be everywhere and not some set of place and some part of place and not, going everywhere. So many people actually, commented and of course gave reaction as regards to the vice president going to Kano, and they are yet to even see, them in Kwara State. But of course, if they've actually sent, other people to go there, I think it shouldn't be a thing of debate anymore. So let's just rest it here. Adamawa closes roads for Tinubu's visit. The Adamawa state government has announced temporary road closures as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu visits the state on Monday. Residents are urged to return to turn out, in masses to welcome the president, while motorists are advised to use alternative routes. Tinubu's visit will feature the inauguration of several projects, including a new underpass, expanded bank road, and a model school. Security has been heightened across the state to ensure a peaceful visit. Some people are actually speculating that for the president to visit Adamawa at this time, that the governor is set to, decamp. But we can actually jump into conclusion. Let's see what will happen in the coming days as regards to the president's visitation, to Anambra State. All right, away from that particular one. Our vote must count, says Peter Obi, former Labour Party presidential candidate. Peter Obi has called on Nigerians to remain vigilant during the 2027 general election, insisting that every vote must count. He urged citizens to stay at polling units after voting to witness the counting and transmission of results, warning that those who obstruct the process will face legal consequences. Obi emphasized the importance of public participation in safeguarding democracy and ensuring transparency in the electoral process. The presidential and of course the National Assembly election are scheduled for February 20, 2027, while governorship and state assembly polls will be held on March 6, 2027. And away from that particular, NLC warns power firms a threatened showdown over institutionalized extortion. Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened a nationwide industrial action over persistent collapse of the electricity grid, describing the power sector privatization as a grand deception that has plunged Nigerians into energy poverty. NLC President Joe Ajero condemned the electricity supply into Band A, B, and C. He said it has been institutionalized extortion and warned authorities against this further tariff increase or policies that deepens hardship without improving the supply. The NLC demands a national stakeholders meeting to draft a power sector roadmap prioritizing affordable and stable electricity, reversing the privatization model, and investing in generation and transmission infrastructure. And of course, let's move back to the Labour Party man, formerly, who's now in the ADC. Peter Obi vows to contest 2027 presidential election despite federal government opposition. Peter Obi actually made this claim. Peter Obi said, and I quote, that I am going to contest as president, regardless of whatsoever the federal government is doing to prevent me from emerging as a candidate. Speaking at an Obedient Movement event in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Obi stated that the federal government has actually done so much and do not want him to actually be part of, to be part of the race in 2027. And he said, but no matter what, it would be a candidate. And he made another statement by saying that they don't even want him to have any political party. And question, is still the same. Do you think that you would get the ticket? Do you think you would get a ticket, from the ADC? That's a question that we should, we should look into, because if he doesn't get a ticket from the ADC, which party presently, PDP is facing its own, Labour Party is still going through so much, which party would actually hand him the ticket, and not about just handing him the ticket, as automatic, a presidential candidate, but it is about the grassroots. It's about the structure of that party. Otherwise, it will still go back to what the Labour Party actually said, in the last election, that they didn't have party agents everywhere in the nation, in some areas, and that actually affected them. So basically, the case is still actually, a thing of concern as regards to the obedience movement. Away from that particular one, APC membership required for jobs, schools admission, says Benue lawmaker. A lawmaker from Benue State, Ojotu Ojema, has sparked widespread criticism after stating that only Nigerians with an All Progressive Congress membership card will be considered for government jobs and school admissions. Ojema, who represents the Akpa Agatu Federal Constituency, made the remarks at an event organized by the National Association of Agatu Students, advising constituents to join the ruling party to assess opportunity. The statement has been met with anger and disappointment from Nigerians, who argue that it contradicts the country's multi-party system and discriminates against non-APC members. Many have taken to, of course, social media to express outrage, citing Section 42 of the Constitution, which prohibits discrimination. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605, 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOP TV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOP TV, and of course on YouTube, we have Voice of People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking the conversation from the man of the moment. That's what I would actually say. Nasir El-Rufai charged with phone tapping. Don't go nowhere, please. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice on Voice of People Television. The federal government has filed a 3-count charge against former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, alleging he unlawfully intercepted the phone communication of National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. El-Rufai, who also served as Minister of Federal Capital Territory under former President Olusegun Obasanjo, on the run. The charges alleged before the Federal High Court in Abuja claim El-Rufai admitted to the crime during a media appearance. If convicted, he is to face a penalty under the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention and, of course, Amendment Act 2024 and the Nigerian Communication Act 2003. Meanwhile, Nasir El-Rufai has arrived at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission headquarters in Abuja for questioning over alleged corruption during his tenure. His arrival sparked tension with the supporters and critics protesting outside the EFCC office, chanting slogans and holding placards. The EFCC and the Independent Corrupt Practice and other related offenses, ICPC, are investigating El-Rufai's tenure with allegations, of course, of financial improprieties and abuse of office. It's actually going to be a long run for Nasir El-Rufai, but let's see what would happen in the coming days. Presently, it is with the EFCC. We're now being joined by Dr. Kayode, a social political technocrat, and of course, our aviation safety expert. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon. How are you today? Peace be unto you, and peace be unto viewers.
Doctor, this one you came in a very celestial way. Coming from the point of the theological way. I hope we are safe, Doctor. It's like you don't want to do politics again. You want to go into theology now.
I just allowed my Valentine Day on Erima Mountain.
Okay. You're welcome on board. And of course, we also have in the studio, surprisingly, he asked me, said, who is coming on your show today? And I told him, Doctor. He said, okay, he wants to come tomorrow. And he said, okay, put me on. I'll be here. And guess what? Alas, we have him in the studio. Thank you so much for joining. We have Mr. Dilifanimo, a senior reporter, and of course,
my
a seasoned
How are you, sir?
political analyst. You're welcome, sir.
I came to see my brother's face. If I cannot see him physically, I should see him virtually. Now he has gone spiritual. We need to raise money for our new church.
Okay.
So that the ministry can go to permanent site.
Doctor, did you hear what Mr. Fanimo said? He said we need to raise money for your new church because you have entered church already by telling us peace be unto you.
No, I don't need anybody's money. The Lord has sent me message, we surely provide.
Okay, no problem. All right, so Doctor, you said you want to react to one of these stories. Please go ahead.
Yes. Number one, I have found out that these days government don't even position themselves until when there is trouble somewhere. It is only when you see kidnappers doing all sort of in one area that they will not move their seats. Should that be so? Anyway, let's leave that by the way. Look at the president. A president of a whole Nigeria going to Adamawa to go and commission a school where other nations are commissioning projects whereby are going to affect people's life economically, like industries, factories, even whereby looking at what they are going to become in another 20, 30 years, and then looking for how to make money to make sure that they ensure that you are going to a whole Adamawa from Abuja to go and commission school, and you are proud to say that. Anyway, I have already tagged that as presidential joblessness. Presidential joblessness. If there are good jobs to do, you wouldn't be looking at going to commission ordinary school that is supposed to be commissioned by a local government official. Anyway, let's leave that by the way again. Let it slide. Coming back to Peter Obi. Honestly speaking, Peter Obi is free to contest. If my party, ADC, dips its feet to say, okay, you have gone through primaries, it is you that we are pushing forward. Why not? But I can also assure you, if it's the other way around, people are just speculating. Obi goes nowhere. It's not going to leave ADC if it's also the other way around. However, I also appreciate what he said. That listen, people should sit at the polling unit and ensure that their vote counts. It's beyond that. I will also add my own. Yes, we will ensure that our vote counts. But the issue is, if anybody, and let it be written down, let it be noted, if anybody should decide to send marauders to come and disrupt voting activities, let them know this, they will meet force by force. We are always ever ready as Nigerians to ensure peaceful electioneering process. But if anybody is coming that he thinks that he has that monopoly of force, let that person know that he's joking.
Okay, sir.
If you are going to come with your Oro, we also face you with Oro. Because nobody can now charge us of cyber Oro. They can charge you of cyber crime. You can't charge us of cyber Oro. You already know how you make your Oro.
All right, doctor.
So you can't charge anybody of cyber Oro.
All right, doctor.
This 2027 is going to be wheat for wheat, energy for energy, vote for vote, power for power. Let that be noted.
All right. Doctor, since that's not the main conversation, I would like you to save your energy for the main conversation because I know you still vent a lot.
My energy is always there.
Okay, but I want to bring
don't come back from the mantle.
I'd like to bring your attention to something which I would start off from the studio before coming back to you. We saw something from Benue State, a Benue lawmaker for that matter, saying that APC membership required for jobs, schools, admission. And he actually said it that your NIN needs to be registered with that of APC, otherwise you will not get jobs, you will not get a school admission from the government in Benue State. Until now, I am surprised that the lawmaker is still there and they've not called him back. So, Mr. Dele, I would like you to react to this before I go to Doctor, and afterwards we can then go to the main conversation.
I think it's marks of official recklessness on the part of that lawmaker. I only read, I have not heard from him. I have not seen the video. But if actually this is true, to the extent that it was reported, then it shows the quality of the mind of some of these politically exposed persons. Since when has BVN or NIN attached to a political party a passport to either get admission or get anything, jobs anywhere? There was a time PDP was ruling that state. So anybody that was not part of PDP at that time wouldn't have access to government privileges and even rights. Now the table has turned. It is APC. What makes him think that APC will rule forever? APC is not going to rule forever. And the fact is, the moment you win an election, you are not the governor of
that party.
Political party. You are the governor of that state. And so the welfare and protection of lives is, you are saddled with that responsibility of ensuring that people are well taken care of and security is adequate. So are you going to say, because somebody did not vote for you, and then you see bandits or terrorists harassing that particular village, you just close your eyes? Or what? What is this trying to say? I think it was official recklessness that should be condemned by any right-thinking person.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Fanimo. Doctor, I'd like you to react to this in just 1 minute so that we can go through.
Yeah, I will react to it just in two seconds.
All right, please.
You see, when I had that, you know how I tagged it? Because that person is a legislator. I tagged it as legislative idiocy. Because your onion as a legislator, you will know that there is, when you're talking about that, you are even infringing, impugning upon the constitution you are supposed to uphold. How can you say that if you don't have your NIN, you don't have your this, whatever, then you won't be allowed to have access to government privileges? It is nothing other than lack of capacity, lack of knowledge, lack of deep understanding of what legislation is. We need to query that person. How did he even get there? Are you sure his certificate was not forged? And no, because even ordinary welder who was from my receipts and is in that legislative house, we never say that. We never say that. So such a person need to be queried by INEC. Maybe we have to first of all query INEC. Now, how should you allow this kind of a person to get to this position? Did you go through all the his resume that is submitted?
But doctor,
these are issues.
Doctor, you know most of them these days, they are selected, not elected, so you should understand better.
And that is what I'm saying. Even when you are, it's just like as you are now. If anybody should say you are being selected without going through interview, and then you are in the position you are, you have been showing some kind of capacity and the professional dexterity, isn't it? But it is when it is otherwise that can now query you, Savior, we need to first of all go to NUJ to find out whether truly you have been there or not. Go to your school, whether truly you have that, maybe you went But then you did finish. Like a minister of that minister that said,
Doctor, I was waiting because I knew you were going to call someone's name. Doctor, let peace reign
why?
today.
It's not my fault.
Doctor, let peace
It's
reign
not my
today.
fault. They fell into it.
All right, Doctor. Let's actually leave the Benue State lawmaker to keep enjoying his euphoria. That's what I would say. Mr. Fadimo, I'd like to bring it back to the studio. Let's talk about Malam Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, and of course, at the time he was even the governor, I was still very, very much in Kaduna. And just like the statement you mentioned when you talked about, that when you are elected, immediately you are elected, you are meant to now take care of the people. But of course, the same Nasir El-Rufai, he did it to the southern Kaduna, where he actually neglected the people because that side was, dominated by Christians. And of course, the southern Kaduna has, the worst roads in Kaduna till date, as we speak. But that's not the case now. Let's talk about the implication of Mr. Phone tapping. that's what has really happened. When we all saw the media chat and it was asked, and he admitted that yes, that phone was actually tapped. What are the implications of Nasir El-Rufai's, action as regards to national security now? Because it was meant to be the other way around, which we still call illegal, that the government tapping into citizens' phone. But of course, I understand that when it comes to some security situation and the government has to just do what they have to do about that particular individual, that is only when they say, oh, they've done this, it was based on intelligence and all of that. But for an individual to tap into an NSA advisor's phone to the government, what do you think?
This thing is very clear and very simple. And that's why some of the time I quarrel with these, and because I'm in opposition, that's why they are haunting me. El-Rufai was in a state of grandeur of illusion when he made that statement. Perhaps he was still having that hangover of immunity clause as governor. Not knowing that he lost that immunity 2.5 years ago when he stepped down from Kaduna Government House. So, over 2 years, you are still talking recklessly like somebody who is covered by immunity that can still find his way around such problem. How can you, in your right senses, knowing fully well, you've been in government for 23 or 24 years as BPDG, as a FCT minister, from FCT minister to governor, and you don't understand that there are some things that are better kept within the confines of your room. How could you openly admit to compromising the telephone line of National Security Advisor? The interpretation they will give it is just too wide, too many. What if they come up now and say most of these bandits and terrorists?
I was waiting for that particular conversation.
We are getting information on sensitive, classified information.
That's the thing.
From you. Don't forget that he had been fingered. He had been alleged of being sympathetic to terrorists and Boko Haram. And yet, there's a Yoruba proverb that says, if somebody is stalking you, you don't go near the fireplace with your body doused in gasoline. El-Rufai just did that. He knew that somebody was holding a box of match and he was the target the next thing was for him to douse himself with petrol and move close to that person holding the match. And he has just started a long journey.
A very long one.
He has just started a long journey. And I don't know where it will end.
Because before now, we're told that his cohorts are actually with the ICPC as we speak. They've been there for some weeks.
No, those who work under him as governor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been held there for some weeks now with ICPC. And of course,
this is
we're
the
waiting
same
for him.
Rufai that when he was away outside this country, he was telling everybody that they were planning to arrest him.
Yes.
That was on a different level that could have attracted some level of sympathy for him. But this one, if anybody is taking side with El-Rufai, from what he has said, then I don't know how to describe such a person.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me go to Dr. Kayode. I'm so excited that Dr. Kayode is part of this show today because this happens to be one of his elder statesmen. That's from his party now, the ADC. So let us hear from the political view what Doctor would say. And sincerely, I would leave the both of you to do it to it today if Doctor is actually saying otherwise. Hello, Doctor, are you there?
No, I'll defer to
Yeah,
you.
I hear my brother saying if somebody is going to say otherwise, why you preempting me?
No, Doctor, I'm not. But Doctor.
No, it was Mr. Panimo that said if anybody should say otherwise.
Okay, yes, he said so as well.
What I will say.
Okay, Doctor.
I'm going to come from a different perspective.
Doctor, I want you to.
I just hope he will be softer on me now that he has just come from the mountain.
Doctor, you know you just came back from the mountain. So, Doctor, what are the possible... Doctor, please. Doctor, please, what are the possible defenses that you people can use with El-Rufai as regards to this case? No, El-Rufai is your ADC person. And anything
I'm not his lawyer. His lawyer will only defend
Doctor, anything that is going on presently in this government, all of you know how to lace it through political situation by telling us that, oh, it is politically motivated. So is this particular one also a witch hunt?
Let me say this. My brother there said initially that El-Rufai is still basking in the grandiose of what did he even call it again? Grandiose of something.
Of immunity.
Yes. It was later I used immunity.
Okay.
Let me say this. You see, like I told one of my bosses when I first started work as a young boy, not even young man now. I wrote a kind of do I put it memo or wherever, and he now summoned some of us to his office, about 5 of us. He said, who wrote this? Even though about 5 of us signed it, people were now being afraid to own up. And I said, sir, I wrote it. I wrote it for my comrades, and we all signed. He said, you wrote it? I said, yes. He said, when did you enter this company? I said, about 6 months, sir. He said, do I know the meaning of this particular paragraph? That it is indicting, it is this, it is that? I allowed him to finish. And I said, sir, do you also believe that a statement can best be interpreted by the author? The man said, really? I said, yes. He said, okay, I should give you the interpretation. I now interpret it the way it was on my mind. He said, wow, how I wish I knew when you entered this company, I would have asked the management to allow you to be working in my office. I think you can see that. Now, where am I going? When you're talking about El-Rufai, talking about what is happening now between the government and El-Rufai, I will not want to talk about whether he has stolen money here or not there or wherever. Let's leave that one aside. Let us look at this cyber thing we're talking about. He that made that statement, it's not a buffoon. El-Rufai is not a buffoon. It's not somebody that talks anyhow. You cannot compare the composure statements, the political aura that it carries. You cannot compare with that of Fayose or that of Wike. No. It's not somebody that can be given to inanities.
But doctor,
for him to have said that,
doctor,
he knew where it was coming from.
Doctor, you are talking about political aura or composure, but you actually tapped into national advisor. You should know what this means to NSA.
Listen now, I know what. Allow me to learn now. I know what I'm. Just wait. Just wait. If you go further to some of his statements, he did mention that himself and Ribadu, they have been friends for long. And at the end of that particular statement, he said he caused the day he met Ribadu and made his friend. So that means, along the line, there had been some things in between them that had even made El-Rufai to have been able to preempt him. Mark you, even that information that he's talking about, it might not be directly through him. It might be coming from even Ribadu's office himself. Look at the so-called coup plotters. The so-called coup plotters that they are still talking about now, that we have not finished their case. I think you follow the case from the beginning. You heard that some of them even was directly in the office of Ribadu. So, you see, I don't want us to be a little bit judgmental based on that is a politically exposed person. Rather, let us look at it from the angle he's coming from. From the angle he's coming from. Because as it is, it is only in the coming days, that we as spectators, commentators, will be able to unravel some of the statements and claims that El-Rufai have been making.
Okay. So, Doctor, you talked about, El-Rufai owning up that he and Ribadu were longtime friends. Of course, we're also privy to that particular information before now, because even to Ribadu named one of his, his son, after El-Rufai. That's to let you know, how close, they were as at the time. But if you're talking about true friendship, now going so and, they are not as close anymore. And of course, one is actually saying that it curses the day, they met themselves and all of that. That shouldn't be our own problem. That is not even affecting us, in this nation. But what is our concern is, no matter who a person is, be it your friend or not, be it your enemy or not, as far as the person is now the national security advisor in that nation, you should understand what we call boundaries. You lose the right the day that person was appointed, because it's about the security of the nation. We're talking about our own national security now, because if you can breach into the phone of a national security advisor, then you can as well know every necessary intelligence in that particular nation. So, Doctor, don't let us lace this particular situation with good words, with wonderful
Listen
English.
to this.
Let us actually look into this particular thing.
Maybe there are some things we are not getting here. Let me tell you. Wait, Savior, maybe there are some things we are not getting here.
I want you to give us clarity, please.
Yes, listen. I said for somebody to have made such a statement, somebody who is not given to inanities, somebody who is not a neophyte when it comes to public leadership and public relationship, you will know that he knows what he's saying. Peradventure, there had been some issues that he is privy to. As far as Ribadu is concerned, and he's saying, okay, this is where I'm going to start from with this guy. This is where I'm going to start from. Because he knows definitely when he makes that statement, it's going to heat up the polity as it is eating it up now. And that's why I said, let us all be watching, because it is only in the coming days, maybe I'm going to call, in the coming days, that we now be able to know which way this statement is coming from and then swinging to.
Okay.
Not until when we listen to the two of them. Who is even telling you that it is not, I'm just saying asking, I'm not saying it is. It is not somebody from the Badu's office that even leaked it to him. Just as some of the coup plotters, as we were told, came from also his office.
Regardless,
So
Doctor, even if it is the brother, let me use that word, of Ribadu that actually linked it to him, as far as the person is in the dark, the person is shadow, it is El-Rufai that actually, made their claim. And it was him that actually said this was what was done. So it is not about whatsoever now. When El-Rufai is actually, picked and of course maybe prosecuted, then it's about me trying to be a whistleblower. You said?
To something. At the end of the day.
El-Rufai trying to be, El-Rufai trying to be a whistleblower, not for the nation as regards to security intelligence, but for himself. For himself. Doctor, and you said something before you started or while you were in your conversation. You said, let's even leave the corruption situation, and let's just face this cyber crime situation. Doctor, I don't know why we want to separate all of this. Don't forget that in that particular media, that media chat, of course, I understand. I understand. No.
Our discussion is based on cyber.
Yes.
It was you that introduced the corruption case.
But doctor, if you actually heard the full news story, everything about El-Rufai's case as we speak is on the cybercrime, which is the phone tapping, and also El-Rufai as we speak. So my question, your wonderful elder statement, Doctor.
Overshadowed
the
corruption one.
Doctor, notwithstanding, your most celebrated, oral political, a gladiator, as you may paint him to be, is laced with corruption all through his tenure. And these are the same people that are saying that, I'm coming. These are the same people that are coming to say they want to save Nigeria, all from where APC has brought Nigerians to. But this same person is about to face multiple counts, as regards to corruption with the EFCC, with ICPC. Some of his cohorts are already going through one already. And these are the same people you are gathering in ADC to tell us that they are willing to take Nigeria off.
But the person is, how many of them are now also facing corruption cases? Right from the presidency down to the least chancellor. Tell me, which of them? Even up to the so-called Senate presidents. Tell me, who among them?
Okay.
So we cannot just be putting it on somebody because it's not a member of ADC.
So that's the thing. So that means that either here, either there, they are all the same. Is that what you are saying? Doctor, is that what you are saying? I want you to Doctor, I want you to be clear. Doctor, I want you to be clear. Are you saying either here and there, they are all the same, including the APC, the ADC, your party? So that means there's no difference, right?
When you are saying that,
is that what you are saying?
What you are saying now is this.
Okay.
You are saying,
Doctor, let me come back to the studio.
Doctor, let me come back to the studio. About ADC.
Doctor, let me come back to the studio.
You be placing that one on the lap of APC.
But El-Rufai is now with the El-Rufai is now in the ADC, and don't forget that he's going through a corrupt case. Yes, so he's not in your party, and your party has been saying that they are all saints. Okay, Doctor, let me bring you back to the studio.
Want to join ADC. Are we going to send him away?
That was why I also told you that if you get an appointment from Tinubu, you also work and you will not castigate him again.
Yeah, we know.
And you will not have any issues.
I am not Bwala. Neither am I.
I just want you to know that this particular show is also on record. The day you get the appointment like Reno Mokri will remind you, maybe before 2031. All right, thank you so much, doctor. Doctor, we are pressed for time. I need to come back to the studio. Doctor, I need to come back to the studio.
Let me die that very day.
Doctor, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Mr. Fanimo, I'd like you to give me your final and, of course, concluding thoughts as regards to what doctor has said so far.
My dearest brother from the same constituency was laboring all along with academic sophistry to cover
what is going on. The uncoverable.
El-Rufai good, let us admit.
Let's just admit this.
Let us admit. If it were to be the other way around, I know what you will say. And I know what your position will be. How can somebody at that level spew that kind of statement and he still stood by it? Does he not know the legal implication of what he has said? Let us admit that he was wrong. And that's the beginning of restitution for him. All this academic sophistry, trying to pander, roll around. Oh God, you are too brilliant for this that you have just done now. You are my brother. Let's call a spade a spade. This man erred.
Don't worry. We go to the Monday together next Friday.
Let's repeat this class so that you can be purged. You went to the mountain and you are not fully purged. You are returning to the mountain and I will follow you to that mountain.
You are following me.
But doctor, I would want you to understand that we are not here to point fingers at political parties. No, that's not what we're doing. But this is it. It's so painful now in Nigeria that there is no politician presently that you can actually talk about. As soon as they're done with that, their 4-year tenure or 8 years tenure, or some that even go as far as doing 12 and 16, that's from the legislative arm now. It's always difficult for you not to have them, come to EFCC or ICPC or even found in corrupt cases. And this is becoming too much. At some point, we have to curb all of this. That's all we're saying. If this...
Are you ready?
Doctor...
If you are saying yes, are you ready? How many people are ready to do that? Sincerely. How many people are ready to do that sincerely?
Okay.
When you see people, even journalists, commentators, defending people like Yaya Bello.
I understand your position, doctor.
A whole load of them. No, tell me, where do we go from here?
That's a very good question. How do we actually go from here?
It's a big issue.
Sincerely. But of course, I thank you so much, Dr. Dayo Kaide, for being part of the show today. We're pressed for time and we can't actually go farther than this today. But of course, the program continues tomorrow. Thank you so much, Mr. Dele Fanimu.
Always my pleasure.
For being part of the show. It's so painful that...
next Friday on the mountain.
It's no problem. It's so painful that 1 hour is not always enough. But we'll see what we can do about this particular one because the time is quite short and we have so much to say. Coming up next, of course, if you love World of Sport, I'd like to stay put. Coming up next is Locker Room. Don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
Welcome to the Locker Room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Ampelhon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, with the sport.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.